He was the fourth of 14. We always spent summer together at my grandparents' house. We had a great growing up, even though it was Jim Crow era time. Ralph must have been about 5 years old. We were coming out of the Lincoln Theater, and he saw these 3 Marines across the street. I guess he just wanted to be a part of it. He said, one day I'm gonna wear that uniform. And my brother hit him, and he says, no, it's Army, it's always Army. And he said, yeah, but I wanna wear that uniform. He came to me, we sat on the step. He said, I'm gonna join the Marine Corps. I said, it's a war going on. He said, but I wanna do this. He went through boot camp in San Diego. He didn't go through boot camp in the South. When he came back from boot camp, he had muscles, and he said, yeah, basic training was very tough. He always been ambitious, so I think the toughness, that's what he wanted too. His last night home, we stayed up until about 3 o'clock in the morning, and we overslept. And I'm like, Ralph, get up. Ralph must have gotten dressed in 5 minutes. And I looked, Ralph came downstairs with his duffel bag on his back, and finally we got a taxi, and he got in the taxi, and I told him, I said, bye. He said, I'm not gonna say bye. And he didn't, and that was the last I speak with him.
The first time when I landed in Vietnam, it's just hot. It's like stepping into an oven. They sent me to 1st Battalion, Recon, 1st Marine Division. That's where I met Ralph Johnson. We were in the team Texas Pete, Lieutenant McClory, that was our team leader. Ralph went through basic training in San Diego, and we used to joke with him and call them Hollywood Marines, you know. But we got real tight, and Ralph, he was a very giving person. And he was the only Marine that I know did not drink and did not swear. And he'd just, read the Bible, and when the other of us start horse playing around and using foul language, he would, oh, no.
I had him about 100 days. 28 of them were on one hill in Banal. I had Johnson 28 days up there. And that's where I really got close to him. He liked me to read ghost stories to him from the South. And he is also an athlete. And back in base area, we played volleyball and threw baseball and caught football. And so being the only Cyclinian, we both talked a lot alike, and we knew a lot of things in common. And he really did a great job for me.
When me and Ralph was there, we were there for Tet. I didn't understand what Tet was until after I got out of the Marine Corps. We call it meat grinding. I mean, now, but when you're young, you think you're bulletproof till they hit you, or you get to see your first dead person and stuff like that.
I had a recon team, had some great men, but that last patrol was pretty tough. We weren't really patrolling, we were more a forward observer in an area that nobody had been too much. It was going to be the biggest operation in Vietnam at that time as far as battalion and sweeping the whole valley. They dropped us out there, we got left behind enemy lines.
It was Hill 146. We're supposed to do just get on the hill and look down into the valley. If you see any enemies, you would call in artillery or airstrikes. When we got on that hill, Ralph, he found 2 landmines. I think we had an engineer attached with us, and they got rid of the mines. Nothing happened the first night, but finding the mines up there, they knew you were there. And it was a big bomb crater. They had a mission up there before, and they had dropped bombs on it. That's how that bomb crater got.
They would have liked to come get us, but the weather was bad. They couldn't pick us up, but the operation was canceled, and we stayed out there. The night before they hit us was just dead silent, nothing. And I radioed back, I said, it's gonna be a tough night. 13 men with me. I cleared a punji pit, got the bottom of that. I have a radio man, McCormick, dig a foxhole to my left, Freeman in a foxhole to my right.
Second night, sounded like a freight train went over the hill. Woo! 2 times. They had overshot the hill. If those 2 rockets would have hit the hill, we'd have been gone.
About 12 o'clock at night, I thought I heard some enemy movement at the bottom of the hill. I grab my shotgun, a Winchester Model 12 pump, crawl out of the punji pit, go over to the right, see if I'm in there, hurt anything. And before I got to him, a grenade came in. It exploded. It hit me here in the neck and the shoulder. And like any other brave lieutenant, I jumped back in the hole I'd crawled out of. Started calling for artillery and air support our position.
My assignment at that time was on a machine gun. They started banging them sticks, and they just came up there.
His moment above in the hole with me, as he fell in, he had something in his hands about the size of a lady's pocketbook. It's a satchel charge. It's full of explosion. He fell in with this. It exploded, blew the toughest side of the punji pit. I'd going through the air, reached back with my shotgun, blasted, blown my left arm off just above my elbow. I looked to my left, my radio man, McCorman, was dead or unconscious at the time. I wasn't sure which. Heard my screaming in the right crowd. What happened to grenade came in a foxhole.
Never forget, Ralph said, "Grenade!"
Ralph jumped on the grenade, smothered with his stomach, blew himself in half. It saved my life and the life of 2 Marines with him.
He did what he had to do, and that gave us a chance to kind of regroup.
I think he knew they all shouldn't have to die. He didn't hesitate. He just threw himself over it.
I tried to get over to him, but as I crawled that way, another grenade came in. As I did, I threw my hands up. This arm was off, right hand covered my right eye, grenade exploded. Blew my left eye out, nose off, teeth on the left side out, both eardrums out. Lost most of use of my right hand. Things looking pretty tough. Tried running through the bomb crater before I got there. The grenade hit me in the legs. I never wanted to live so bad all my life. If I could just see my men get off that hill alive, if I could see my bride one more time.
So we called in and said, "Come get us." They said, "Try to hold out in the morning." Man, we will not be here alive in the morning.
Pilots reconsidered. 3 a.m. the first bird landed.
They got Puff, Spooky, whatever, just lit it up. Base of fire, ring of fire around the hill. That's what kept them off.
And I said, "Just leave me, I'm not gonna live anyway." And he said, "We don't leave anybody in the Marines, so you come in with me, Lieutenant." They put my 2 dead, 5 wounded on that chopper as it lifted, the next one landed. The rest of my men grabbed hold. As that bird lifted, about 150 enemies just covered the hill. 5 more minutes, nobody got out of there alive.
Semper Fidelis, that's just what Ralph did. Always faithful, that's what he did.
Always faithful to your corps, to your country, to your wife, to your children, to yourself. In Ralph's case, he gave it all. Some gave a lot, he gave it all.
Once you got in there, you became a brother. I saw the lieutenant when we was down there at Charleston. I got to see him. And I said, "Who called in Spooky?" And he said, "God called him in."
That's the only thing that kept us alive. We were fortunate to get out of there. And I told my men, I didn't call them. God must have sent them because they heard we were in a lot of trouble and came to us. His family later received the nation's highest award, the Congressional Medal of Honor. And about 50 years ago, we named a VA hospital in Charleston after him, and in Myrtle Beach, and a street in Charleston after him. And 4 years ago, the Commandant came from Washington, about 6,500 other people, and we named a $4 billion destroyer that we had it brought to Charleston because that was his hometown and commissioned there, and named it Ralph H. Johnston.
He would give the shirt off his back if someone needed it. Your thoughts, so I believe, was only natural for him to give his life, which concedes with John 15:13.
What the Medal of Honor means to me, with that sacrifice, it's not just that one individual. It's a lot of other individuals. I'm pretty sure most of the Medal of Honor winners, they'll tell you that this medal was not for me, it's for my brothers and sisters that helped. And that's what I feel about Ralph, yeah. We all were brothers.
He lived his dream and he gave it all in all. It's not a day go by I don't think about Ralph, but I look at his life. This is what he wanted in life.
Like I said, Ralph been gone 50-some years, but we still hold that spirit up, yeah.
I would like for Ralph to be remembered. He made the ultimate sacrifice. He served his country. He loved this country.